Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to give my opinion on some of the big headlines from around the NFL from the last couple of days. First up, we have a late night trade last night from the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cleveland Browns. Those two worked together on a big trade night one that sent Travis Hunter to Jacksonville, and Cleveland ended up getting Mason Graham. I think they've both been really good this season. Travis Hunter, interesting to see him play both sides of the ball in the NFL. I'm not sure all of us kind of expect him to make such an easy transition to play both corner and receiver in the league. The Jaguars get Greg Newsome in the Jets 2026 sixth round pick, while the Browns received Tyson Campbell in the Eagles 2026 seventh round pick. All around, they've both been solid corners all season. I definitely like Greg Newsome more, but Jacksonville just paid Tyson Campbell a whole lot of money. It was like 70 plus million. To see them trade him, and I believe, just a year or two after signing that contract, that's a little weird. It's a new front office, new head coach. It's understandable, and he's had problems this past, year and a half, really, inconsistencies, issues in coverage. But man, you don't want to trade a guy you paid that much to. That's kind of a whiff on the Jags' part. But I did think they got better because I do like Greg Newsome more. I think Greg Newsome's a better corner, better talent. He's definitely produced at a higher level this season. So I question Jacksonville's decision making when it comes to extending him and then trading him a year and a half, 2 years later. But I think they got better. I like this move for Liam Cohen and the Jags. I think they're, young GM. He's aggressive. They've made the move to go get Travis Hunter, and now did this to go get Greg Newsome. On the Browns side of things, they're 1-4. It's not looking really good, besides Dylan Gabriel's solid performance. So it's an interesting move to see such, a corner one or corner two swap like this, just to see two guys pretty much one for one get swapped. Those late rounds, draft pick swaps. So it's always interesting to see moves like this get made. For Cleveland, it's sort of a meh move. I don't think it's that big for them. It's interesting to see their second, notable move in the last 24 hours, but not sure it makes me feel some kind of way about Cleveland now that they have a new corner. Also, recently, the Ravens have traded Odafe Oweh, the edge rusher, as well as a Rams 7th round pick in 2027 to the Chargers for a safety Alohi Gilman and a 2026 5th round pick. This one's interesting because I do like both Alohi Gilman and Odafe Oweh. I think they're both pretty solid players. It's interesting to see the Chargers go out and get another edge rusher. I thought they needed that. Khalil Mack is solid, still really good at such an advanced age, but losing Joey Bosa this past offseason was a hit for sure. I do like them going out and getting Odafe Oweh in the situation. This safety acquisition for the Ravens does make me question how much Kyle Hamilton is injured. I did see he went down recently, so how big of an injury did that turn out to be if they went out and traded a guy like Odafe Oweh for a guy like Alohi Gilman, who I do like both these players. They're both solid players. They're good pieces to a defense. I think these are interesting but good moves for both teams. Not what I really expected. I didn't think Oweh or Gilman, for that matter, would be traded off these teams, but it'll be interesting to see these two in new uniforms, and I'm sure they'll put up good production and spot start and fill in roles for these teams that they need them to do. So all around a good trade for the Chargers and Ravens. Another interesting Ravens move, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who was cut by the Houston Texans right before this season, I believe. Might have been during preseason. He is signed with the Ravens practice squad. An interesting move because, again, they just made the move for Alohi Gilman. Kyle Hamilton is out for the foreseeable future. So which one of those guys do they go with? Do they elevate C.J. Gardner-Johnson off the practice squad on game day? They can do that up to 3 times. So will they make those moves to cover for Kyle Hamilton the time that he is out? Or is this just really another warm body in a room type situation? Are they going to try to use him? I thought C.J. Gardner-Johnson, for what he was used to do in Philadelphia as a zone coverage, ball hawking safety, was really good. I believe he was a Pro Bowler. He was not all that for the Lions. Kind of got banged up, was really injured, and even his play in that season I don't think was very good. With the Texans, I really thought they got another piece. I know they traded with Philadelphia to get him. He went back to Philly, and they traded a guard, Kenyon Green, who has now been cut by the Eagles, I believe, or traded. It was an interesting move for Houston that I thought was going to work out. Clearly, it did not. Clearly, they see something more in their safeties, which they got a guy like Jalen Petrie, so I don't blame them. But I'm shocked, really, to see the Ravens make another move at safety. It'll be interesting, again, to see if this is anything meaningful or if this is just fodder on the practice squad. And lastly, the final big piece of information we got. It's a very interesting situation. Former NFL quarterback and current analyst Mark Sanchez, or former analyst, I suppose, Mark Sanchez, was in an altercation. The information I was able to gather, it seems Sanchez was intoxicated and got into an altercation with a 65-year-old man in which he would cause a lot of bodily harm. I mean, he messed the dude up. And in this altercation, Sanchez would also be stabbed. Initially, that was reported over this weekend that Sanchez was stabbed. And then it turned into, well, he was also being arrested or apprehended in the hospital while he was recovering from his wounds. Sanchez, obviously known for the butt fumble more than, being an analyst, but this is probably where the line gets drawn. It's probably it for him as an analyst. I was never a huge fan of Sanchez's work, but man, it's crazy to see somebody whose name is so notable and you know exactly who they are have something like this happen. This is just inexcusable in all stances, man. To get in an altercation like this, to be publicly intoxicated to the level where you get into a situation like this. I mean, you just can't be doing that as a professional, so it wouldn't shock me at all. In fact, within the next 24 hours, it wouldn't be surprised at all if he is fired from his job as an analyst. And that'll do it for this one. Again, it's a short video today, but I just wanted to cover some of the major headlines from the NFL over the last 24 to 48 hours. If you liked this video and want to see more content like this, drop a like, and most importantly, make sure to sub to the channel. As always, have a wonderful day.